So now to talk about more speedrunning glitches. You can skip the cutscene with Dorito by going to the Windsong area and facing the entrance to the Dorito village above you. You do a zombie hover, mashing A and B with no hearts, and you have Tingle heal you when you've gotten up to the higher door. Now you've skipped the Rito cutscene and the delivery bag cutscene. Head to the drain spring from there, and you don't actually need the delivery bag and the letter in this game. Like, I used to think it was mandatory, but it turns out you can skip it. Although that's probably something you can only get away with if you have the Deku Leaf by this point, because you can't actually use the Deku Leaf to fly to the fire dungeon, but obviously if you're playing the game normally you're not going to have it. When you come to the first dungeon, for the first ever torch puzzle in the game, you can light a torch by throwing a lit stick. You line yourself up just right. And you can zombie hover right as you get to the main room of the dungeon to skip virtually all of the dungeon by getting high enough with the glitch. You'll get to the door leading to a room with water jars and lava, and a bridge above you, going through the dungeon backwards, because you can actually do that. And the timing for pulling away the Deku Leaf so you can hang on to 3 ledges ahead of you is pretty precise. But if you pull it off right, it allows you to get to Medley without the grappling hook to get that very item from her. Again, you're just going through the dungeon backwards. And then you can do the Wind Waker glitch to store Medley's text, and she instantly gives you the grappling hook when you see the dragon while she's talking. When you drop down to the door, you'll see the Valu cutscene late, and going into the door will briefly have you inside of a boulder, because you're expected to blow up a boulder to get inside the door in the first place, but you never blew it up. And in the boss key room of the first dungeon, you can use the storage glitch to make your hitbox tiny with the chest, and that allows you to roll into the wall left of the boss key door, letting go of the analog stick, and you can just clip right into it. The annoying thing about using the storage glitch with a chest, though, is that it always makes a creaking sound that never stops, like you're opening it. And you can also use a super swim to skip the cutscene where you first meet the talking fish. The next time you get in the boat, he'll talk to you normally, even if you respawn in him. Not in him, but if you drown until you spawn in him. The Tower of the Gods is actually the least broken dungeon in the game, glitch-wise, which sucks because it's not a very fun dungeon. You can at least jump into a corner, holding a statue on the northeast corner of room 1, press B, backflip, Deku Leaf, and cancel it to hang off the pillar that way. Walk in between the wall and statue, clip through a wall hanging, and now you can leaf pump into the yellow tunnel while out of bounds. By going out of bounds this way, you can actually get past the waterfall and get to progress to the second floor really quickly. Like, I just love that. And after you get past the waterfall, you can roll onto the third switch to get on a platform during the cutscene where it starts rising. And in the next room, you can run up to the moving platform right away and just barely grab onto it and hang onto it. So you don't actually have to wait for that platform. And you don't actually have to make the statue slowly follow you below the transparent floor. And that's all thanks to the Tingle Tuner. Basically, you select the Tingle Balloon, pick up the statue, and use it to just walk on air quickly across the pit. Ironic, like, the Tower of the Gods is really the only place where the Tingle Balloon can be used to skip stuff, even though you think that it would be really useful for that. I guess it's because the time limit is so bad that you have to be really quick and precise about even the few skips that it allows you to do. So, then you can just jump to the moving platform, making the yellow choo-choos jump to their deaths, which is pretty amusing. And then you learn the command melody, which you can actually skip using the Tower of the Gods. Go to the west room and leaf pump to the door across from you so you can get to the next statue faster. It's quicker to leaf pump to the statue than to use the grappling hook. And then you can just pick up the statue, jump to the tiny ledge to the right, and carefully go to first person mode and face right, so the dark pillar left of you is just off camera. And then you side hop, and there you go. After getting the bow, get the next statue to the room. You can skip the weight puzzle entirely with a Tingle Tuner by putting one statue on the weight deku leafing onto the raised weight and running to the edge and just jumping off. In the final statue room, you get on top of the yellow statue right in front of the statue with leaf pumping. You call the statue from up there and deku leaf forwards to save a whole bunch of time, as the statue will never stop following you. What I meant by skipping with the Tingle Tuner is that back in this weight puzzle room, Tingle Balloon won't work when you're carrying the black statue, but only in the weight puzzle room, as a very obvious rule patch to keep you from cheating that wasn't very thought out, because if you activate Tingle Balloon in the other room and come back to the weight puzzle room, you'll be able to skip it entirely. Of course, you have to wait for Tingle Balloon to become fully active before you enter the weight puzzle room, or it'll be cancelled before you enter it in an obvious rule patch. And then you just jump attack into the purple teleporter because it's faster than having Link slowly walk into it automatically. The boss key is the only one in the game that's necessary to get, because getting it in the Tower of the Gods activates enemy statues that when defeated allow you to progress. So it's the only one that can't be skipped. You can skip hitting the switches by leaf pumping onto a pillar to the right of the yellow laser gate. In the outside area, you can just jump attack over the blue statue's lasers every time, even when there's two in a row in front of you. You'll have to take a hit from one, and it'll cause you to get blasted over the other one. Apparently, running under the head of the boss of the Tower of the Gods causes it to cancel throwing fire at you, a glitch that makes the boss a lot easier to deal with. I guess it just spontaneously forgets you exist. Once you beat that boss, you can actually ring the bell and have Link bouncing between the walls. If you were to skip the barrier on your second trip to Hyrule, upon entering Ganon's room, you would automatically be given the fully upgraded Master Sword and Mirror Shield. I talked about the Mirror Shield part before, but I hadn't talked about the upgraded Master Sword part. I guess because the game just assumes you already got it. It's like how the game just assumes you have the rest of the Dark Mirror shards if you skip into the Canon room in Twilight Princess. So that's really convenient. I wonder if it's necessary to have the fully upgraded Master Sword to harm Ganon. And you can actually skip the slide puzzle in Hyrule Castle, which is something I never imagined you could actually do. You climb onto a stair railing, hold right, and mash A to roll inside the wall. Unfortunately, it's a frame-perfect trick, so it's kind of hard to do. Hold L and press A with sword away, and he falls a little. Turn around with the camera so you can walk down the stair railway. Crawl so you clip inside the bottom of the railing, rather than just walking into it. You now want to crawl, let Link fall through, pull out the leaf, and fly into the loading zone out of bounds to get under the statue without moving this. After getting the Master Sword to progress to the next phase of the game will think you moved the statue. So you'll still be able to get out of the room, because getting out of the room will automatically cause the statue to have already been moved. And it'll automatically go over Zelda's area anyways. You can actually skip the padding where you had to fight a whole bunch of unfrozen enemies to escape the castle. Which is good because, seriously, that's just padding. And I think it would have been a lot cooler if those giant suits of armor that bow to you when you get the Master Sword, I think it would have been a lot cooler if they were a boss fight. That would have been much more acceptable as padding rather than just making you fight waves of enemies that you've already beaten. What you do to skip all that is that you climb onto the right railing, side hop right, turn around, turn the camera so you face the wall, drop a bomb with R to fall, move left to clip through the wall out of bounds, and then you keep leaf pumping into a black void to get out of the castle. You save the game and reset. And this is going to put you back outside to where your boat is, because the save system in this game is so crappy that it doesn't save exactly where you last saved. Like, it doesn't respond you to where exactly you last saved. The thing is that the boat won't even actually talk to you. So that's good. You just have to climb into it and slowly cruise into the golden light. And there you go. Now you have to sail to a cyclone and get the warp song, because obviously that's going to be mandatory for any speedrun. And the best cyclone to do this with is the one directly south of Windfall Island, because I guess it's closer to it, and it's on the way anyways. You can super swim to Windfall Island from the island with Din's statue, and then super swim to Forsaken Fortress from there. You can skip sidling behind the bomb shop by just jump attacking. So after super swimming to Forsaken Fortress 2, and getting another air refill from the ocean unloading, get yourself standing between a crack between two rocks on the west part of the Forsaken Fortress. You can stand knee-high in water here. Inch forwards and use the Wind Waker to dive underwater. Count to 1.5 and press B, and you'll swim forwards under the island. Then the Phantom Ganon cutscene summons you to exactly where you want, so it doesn't really matter that you swam under the island. And there's also some skips you could do in the second Forsaken Fortress itself. Get the hammer, progress until you get up the stairs, climb up, and try to fly to the raised ladder with the Deku Leaf. If you press A at exactly the right time from the raised ladder, you'll actually grab onto it. That lets you skip to the northwest corner with the door to the roof. So that's a pretty big skip. You can leaf pump over the sidle walls, ignoring all of the searchlights. Which is weird because I always thought that they would still notice you and catch you even though you were like flying in front of them, but I guess not. In the boss fight with the Helmrock King, there's water rising from below you obviously, so keep on rolling forwards. And you can actually skip hitting the bird with a hammer. What you do is that you leaf pump across and climb up to the roof from a wooden ledge that you grab onto. You should make Link crouch from low health to shrink his hitbox. Now whenever you press L, no matter how far away the bird is, you'll target it. Probably because it's the main priority and it's a gigantic boss, which that was the case in the Wind Temple. Leap across the land on the stone platform nearest the spikes, holding up, and press A at the right time. Climb up to clip through the floor. Put the sword away, crawl under the block left of the spikes, and you'll be able to skip the Helmrock King's boss entirely. And without even doing a zombie hover. Now even if you skipped the electric barrier in Hyrule Castle, it'll vanish in front of you when you enter it for the second time because the game assumes that you beat all the enemies, even if you use clipping to skip doing so. So that's convenient. I always love it when the game assumes something. Now after returning to the Great Sea, you can save a lot of time with even more tricks. Obviously super swimming is something you'll always be taking advantage of whenever you can from now on. Get to North Fairy Island for the biggest wallet. It's possible to glitch inside the Mother Island with super swimming, but warping into it is much faster. An interesting thing is that tool-assisted speedruns can have Link super swim by just inputting up on the control stick every odd frame, and down every even frame. So they do a manual super swim. It's not really possible to do when playing the GameCube version without an emulator and frame input tools, though. The closest you can get to that is the HD version, where you can just go up and then pause the game and sort of go down instantly afterwards, like a frame afterwards. Upgrading the magic meter is also something that's recommended for speedruns, so they'll save the Great Fairy in that case. Jump attack onto the chest on the ice island, and Deku Leaf from it, and you can get onto the ice ledge. And then you can fly onto the last moving ice platform without having to jump onto the other ones. If you super swim to the lava near the volcano and drown there, drowning there will allow you to spawn on the boat right next to the volcano, even though you didn't sail to it. Which is good because you need to be on the boat anyways, like with both the Ice Ring Island and the volcano. Otherwise you won't be able to access them in the first place. There's a very difficult trick for skipping past using the power bracelet to access the Earth Temple. You use the bomb, plant one near a wall to the right, and jump attack at exactly the right time so that the explosion will knock you on top of the wall. Then you'd use the Deku Leaf to get behind the rock that way. But not even Swordless Link was able to do it, so. At this point in the glitch run, trying to go up to the Rito house will actually crash the game because you didn't get the delivery bag. Not just a soft lock, but the game actually crashes with a buzzing sound and everything. What you have to do to get past that is you do the storage glitch, open a chest by using the arrows on a bomb flower on the wall. You aim the grappling hook as far left as you can and release it. jump off it as far as you can to jump into the wall, and run up it with the storage glitch activated. And then jump attack through the railing to get some medley. And then you warp to Hudson Island and get the storage glitch off a ledge, talk to the boat to store his text, and then do storage glitch again and in the water with the camera in front of you. Cancel the text with a side hop into the water, and then you can super swim to the Earth Temple so fast that you skip the arrival cutscene. You can roll on one frame after playing the song, so that Medley plays the harp inside of the giant stone before destroying it, since she always spawns near you, and you'll be right next to it when you do it. You can skip almost the entire Earth Temple using glitches, which is something that made me really happy to find out. For the first room with switches, you can leaf pump over to the second switch and press it yourself. It's possible to throw Medley in first person mode, which is actually pretty weird. And now you have to take a lot of damage because there's a zombie hover area coming up. In the room after this, get storage glitch in the room introducing Dark Choo-Choos and open the summonable chest. Press L, turn around 180 degrees, and press L again. Medley will be in front of you at that point, so you can pick her up and go forwards in pitch darkness to leave for the next room. Unfortunately, there won't be any more music there because they stop the music when you're in your chest opening animation cutscene, and you just interrupted it. Now, storage glitch, you can fly with Medley to the right shoulder of the statue in the next room with all the fog. Jump attack, run up to the top of the statue, and leaf pump to the high-up door across from you. Get yourself down to a quarter of a heart left and call Tingle. Press L, go in first person, and line up the B button on the screen with a right corner on the wall in the room. Turn around 180 degrees, side hop left, backflip, put a bomb in front of you with R, and hit it with your sword. And now you're dead, so zombie hover to get out of bounds. You can actually see the whole dungeon behind you while you're in a black void. When you're high up enough, you just have Tingle heal you, and use the Dooku Leaf. Test rooms can actually freeze the game, and this is the biggest example. I don't know why they didn't program this in the test room to not freeze your game. And that's not the only way this place can freeze your game either. On the bright side, there's a test room that can give you a piece of heart, and you'll actually keep it. I'll talk more about speedrunning glitches later. Not sure if I'll do it in the very next part or not, depends on how much I have to say. So in the next part, I'll be showing off Windfall Island side quests, like how to get the final bottle, without any stealth at all. And also show off everything at the very bottom line of the Great Sea. Like everything from Horseshoe Island to the Angular Islands. So see you then.